Whew. Been on a recording spree today. This will be video number 4. And, well, I feel like, I don't know, if I'd gotten better, I don't know if it's like better sleep or maybe if I'd taken a nap or something. I don't know. My whole idea was like, I was really feeling, I had the energy. I was inspired. How many videos I was like gonna make? Like 7 or something ridiculous. It was gonna be a lot. This is number 4. I've only uploaded 1, and then there's this one's gonna be tomorrow. Tomorrow is in the 3rd, and then there's just gonna be video. It's just so many videos, which I love. Okay, let's grab 16 wood, get myself 95 wooden arrows. Okay, immediately I want to make a boar pen for the 2-star. How are we going to do that? Well, let's get the wood. The necessary wood. Okay. I hate this fog. Ooh. That is bad. I'm gonna need the hoe as well. So we have our old tools somewhere. Here we go. Okay. And I'm gonna have to make walls as well, which is fine, you know. There we go. We got a bench. Let's get this hoe going. Make a large, flat enough area. Don't we just all love that fog? It's just everybody's favorite weather. Okay, we should be almost there. Yeah, we got a good size here. So let's start building. I think I'll do a double thick or double length, double size round structure. So it'll be like, we'll start it up like this. 2 walls down, 1 click on the middle mouse to rotate. And rinse and repeat until you've made a circle. That's my whole idea here. I have to have this wide enough to have room for AoE to not hit the boars. This is going to be a piggy bank, but not just that. It's gonna be for a lot of creatures. Let's get a toe in again. Come on. Oh. Dude, what the hell? Swear I'm on higher ground. Dude. The fuck? Just doesn't want to go. Yep. Gonna have to raise ground for that area and then smooth it out. I suppose that's fine. Just need a little bit of stone. That should be good. Ooh, I hope the fog is going away, but I doubt it. I think it's just daytime. The sun coming up. Let's see. Raise ground. Smooth. Oh, what the fuck? There we go. That's what I'm talking about. Alright, let's continue. This is gonna be floating again too. Oh my god. Why must you be so floaty? No, I didn't mean to. Oh, god damn it. Come on, dude. Oh, no. It was blue. And now it's green again. It's so strange. Weird. Weird, I say. Weird. Okay, fog is going away. Hooray! Yippee! Alright. I'm going to need even more stone for this. Which is fine, I guess. I mean, there's some right here. I don't want to go too close to re-aggro the boar. I have to be careful here. So I want this pen to be set up in such a way where I can get ease of access for entry. I can close the pen, and I can do so with the doors such that the other boars, once the time comes, don't escape until I want to. They don't go out unless I say, yes, you can go out and hang around the regular base. That's what I want to happen. Let's leave that boar there and not aggro it. That might be my control board to get the breeding started. Gonna have to build walls after this though for sure. Hey, Bow 24. Very cool. Okay. Right. Really, this doesn't work? I can't just smooth out from there? Yeah. Alright, things are starting to work out now. I believe we'll be able to get all the way back. No. Maybe not. I mean, that worked, but I don't like how those are floating. There, good enough. Good enough, I say, good enough. It's gonna be a big pen, but that's fine. Need space to breed, need space from AoE, all of that. Gotta have this space. Gotta have it. So let's make these gates. I believe the boar is like over here. So let's make an entrance this way. Doesn't have to be as fancy as I'm doing it, but why am I doing it like this? What's going on? How weird. Ah, like that. Yeah. Yep, that works. And now I need wood. Okay. Let's take some of that. Stone. And I believe I can put the hoe away. I don't know if there's any more coal here. No, it doesn't look like it. That's fine. I have a lot of coal. It can be put on hold. I needed just a ton of wood for this project. Getting these boars are really important, and then the walls that are going to follow from that are really important as well. Being able to sort of free range the creatures is going to be huge. So, let's see, let's just get wood in here. The good old usual box strat. Get rid of the tightly packed saplings. Do I have wood marked up there? I do. I do. Let's go north then and get that wood. It should be just wood and core wood. I'm gonna get what's marked and what's on the ground. And then I'm gonna come back and get more saplings. Because all of these saplings are just so convenient. They are way too convenient, and there's just non-stop saplings. I mean, look at this. Getting pretty lucky with these mushrooms. That's nice. I'll take wood from them too. Here we go. Okay, that should be the wood on the ground. Let's get rid of stumps, why not, while I'm here. All these pines are super brittle. I'm not worried about it. I really don't need dandelions right now. I guess I'll take some stone. That was a pretty durable stump. Alright. Let's go back. Well, I might as well take that. If I get my first generation of carrots to be like 15 or 30 seeds, then that's huge. That's absolutely huge. Ah, it's an instant runner. Okay. Okay. Check this out. Look at this cluster. This is what it's all about. Wood, resin, all the time. Constant. Oh, inventory is full already. Damn. Let's mark this then. I think what I'll do is just go back, empty the stuff, start building again, and then just come back. Bit by bit, clear out the saplings. Wow. This forest is so dense with them. Another piggy. Okay. I have more convenient fellows. Alright, let's put away the whatever stuff. Let's see, should have, yeah, seeds here. They're getting up, that's good. Got some stone, core wood is always nice. Good to have that resin back. Meat and such. Oh, mushrooms, of course. Let's continue this build. Let's see. We can make more gates here. Excellent. Alright, let's get this roof started too. Oh. Missing requirement and no rested anymore. That's fine. Alright. This should be another easy time, and I mean, the construction of this place should be super simple. The progression on it already is excellent. There should be enough away from the fire as well that the boar doesn't get scared off automatically. Always good to have that leather, always good to have that boar meat. Especially if you're playing co-op, you need all that. You need all you can get. Here's the wood. It's starting to get a little dark. Ooh, not as dense here. I'll get this quadruple though. Love when we get that 21 plus. I had to do it. Ooh. That is nice. Oh, inventory full. And I'm getting real close to the base, which is fantastic. Alright. I shouldn't be able to carry much of any of that, yeah. Nighttime. Okay, let's go sleep, and then I'll continue building just to make things a little bit more visible. Oh, cracking my back. Oh, man. Whew. So far, so good. Looks like it's going to be a little bit open, though, unless I put some corewood supports down, which is always nice. Ooh, let's get rid of that. Here, let me just... That should be lined there. There. More wood. It's coming along, though. It's coming along real nice. I'm going to need the whole thing covered up, so definitely some corewood supports are necessary, but I do have the corewood, so that's good. Yeah, the whole thing for tames, it needs to be airtight. I am going to have a bunch of my tames just wander around the base once I have the walls up, but they are all expendable. Gotta have good raid survivability for them. Now there's a difference between raid survivability and a raid proof base. It's like, can you get raided at that raid? Or at that raid. Can you get raided at that base or not? That's raid proof. Or raidable, I guess. Is it raidable? You know? But raid survivability is specific to certain types of raids and certain types of creatures that you have as tames. I'm specifically thinking about AoE, as in Grey Dwarf Shamans and Blobs. I'm also thinking about Gerhafa for an AoE. Brenna also for AoE, I guess. And then also, we're thinking Blobs, Ooze, Grey Dwarf Shaman, yeah, I think I said that. But no windows specifically because of drakes and bats. Gotta have everything safe and secure for the creatures. So yeah. Free range just because of the distance limit on, or density limit on creatures. Uh-huh. Oh, it's coming along nice. I'm just trying to think, like, how do I do this from here? Do I just keep going? Starting to look a little awkward. Yep, starting to look a little weird. That's fine though. It's working. It's gotta be an interesting structure for sure. Oh, it seems like they got 20 HP. Ooh, 1-star deer at least. No, I was mistaken. Just a regular guy. Must have been the water reflections throwing me off. So many saplings. $90 wood already, damn. Alright, oh, there's a mushroom there. Let's continue the build. I mean, I could just continue it from up here, yeah? Eh. Oh. Ooh, it's coming along. Alright. Let's get some nice core wood now. It's entirely too much. Still too much, okay. Well, I do have some deer stuff. Oh, I have a lot of resin. Yo, that is a ton of resin. Okay. It's pretty nice. Somebody's in the middle aren't too spicy, but I don't know. I suppose they can be fixed. Shit. I'm low on core wood. Anyway, let's start it up. See if we can't finish this off. Would be cool. Very tricky. We're in this very tricky phase. Things are tricky. Okay, well. Things are fucking tricky, man. Okay. Progress is being made. Alright. Yes. Haven't done one of these in forever. Yup. It's gotta be like down here, yeah? I got it, there it is. That's good. It's just gonna be all covered up, it's okay. Yep. Yep, it's gonna look awkward as shit, and that's okay. That is a-okay. Let's go to the top, see if I can't work out something out up there. Ooh, this looks so good from above. This is a good jumping point. Oh, yeah. This works out. Oh, this part is so tricky. Ooh. No. Maybe? What if I did? What if I drop down? Ouch. Tricky. Ah. Yep. And come on. I should be using Jace Mars fucking thing, you know? There we go. Hmm. Okay. Oh, that's it, man. That's it. That's it. That's it. Top check. Top check. Top check. Does it look silly? Yes, but that's fine, because this is cool. And honestly, I could do a little decoration if I really wanted to and cover that up, but honestly, from a distance, from the side, this is looking nice. Now, let's fix this up on the inside to make it so that, you know, everything's not escaping or dealing nutty AoE through the side. Let's get this right. Gotta go misc here. We're gonna go like this. Uh-huh. Yerp. Let's get a little bit inward. Ooh, let's continue this outward like so. If I can, please and thank you. Yup. And then I continue this in like this. And this like that. Because I want a door. Wonderful. Okay. Let's continue this pole building, I suppose. Let's continue it like this. Have workbench just kind of on the exterior here. That's fine. Kind of a wrong position. This is good enough, right? Oh yeah, oh yeah. That's good. Let's leave. Alright. I need more rested, more wood. The bees, honestly, are probably ready. Oh. Oh, I have an idea. I have a great idea. Oh, man. Sniping up top. I'm so happy I cleared that area out. Look at this. So phenomenal. Yep, we're at 4 honey. I had a feeling. Sweet. Literally sweet. That is a nice amount of honey. Let's see. Oh, we can just sleep, right? Yeah. Easy, quick rested. Alright, should only be a little bit more wood. We just grab that right here. Ooh. That is nice. Alright. This is good. That's good. What about this? That's good. That's good. Let's be extra careful here. Okay. Alright. So now there's a temporary pen so that I can close the door. Open one. And then so on and so forth. Keep everything good. Let's go grab Mr. 2-Star. Oh, Mr. 2-Star. That is a different Mr. 2-Star. And we can get that boar after we get the Mr. 2-Star. That should be him. That is a rock. Great. Where is this fella? Did I go the wrong way? Is it just over here? I think it was just over here. My mistake. Oh, there you are. Bonjour. Let's kill the grayling. Come here, fella. I want to give you the good life. You'll be the start of my dominance over this seed. Let's cut through the woods, why don't I? Just make it a clearer path to victory. Bunch of deer. Damn, look at all the deer spawn. Come on in. No. Come inside. Thank you. Now come in here. Mr. Piggy. Piggleton. Hello, sir? Thank you. Alright. Now we can split this in half. And I can go outside. Alright, now begins the long form of sneaking around. Unfortunately not in full troll hide, so we can't get that plus 15 bonus, but that's okay. It's just gonna be sneaking, and more sneaking, and that is fine. It's gonna be sneaking for half an hour. I'm not kidding. Half an hour. Well, that was a good boar catch. Let me just open up a new window here. Piggy? You ain't gonna escape like that. Just, you know. There we go. Now eat the raspberry. I'm not seeing Taming Hearts. It's open. Aha. Taming Hearts. That's what I wanted to see. That's what I love to see. Alright. We'll get Taming Hearts within a certain radius of Boar once it's fed. Or any tameable creature, really. The radius should change. I believe Lox has the highest radius. And yeah, we just get to hang around here. Level up that sneak. Which is going to be good because eventually we'll have Arbalest should I continue on the seed. And having those sneak levels should be super hype for Ashlands. Because, you know, I don't know what's going on. Nobody knows what's going on. It's going to be very scary, and sneaking around might be pretty good. But yeah, while I'm sneaking around here, just getting these levels, waiting for the 30 minutes to go off, I want to talk about something that kind of bothers me. You know, a couple of things that are like pretty nonsensical in my eyes. It's just gonna be pretty off topic, but I'm just gonna be hanging around here doing nothing, so might as well. I want to talk about well, number one would be the Fermi paradox, quote unquote, or any other thing that makes like species that are more advanced than us out to have the same issues that we do. Like it's an allegory being hid within a it's like being masqueraded as some sort of enlightening tale, and this exists within a couple of fronts usually. You know, it's not the Fermi paradox itself, but what comes out after it. And I mean, I'll tell you it straight up, like what the Fermi paradox is supposed to be. It's the whole idea is like we shouldn't have seen no signs of other like advanced life by now. And the whole idea is there's something out there that's like, oh no, now I'm getting into the great filter sort of deal that comes out of it, where like there's something that is stopping life when it gets too advanced. That's the great filter. Like something happens and they just stop. That's supposed to be one of the answers. Well, it's really just like a almost like a portfolio for a variety of specific answers, which can then get even more specific. But it doesn't have to be a paradox. Like it's just, it very well could be that it's just random chance, and that we don't see any like more intelligent life or any additional life out there because of just pure fucking chance. The universe is a big, big place. It's very, very possible that that's what happened. Okay, we also have like a certain strip because of the whole Milky Way. We have a whole stretch where the observable universe ain't too observable. It's pretty clouded. And then there's the thing which I just mentioned, the observable universe. How there's so much out there that we literally can't see. There's the way that galaxies are expanding at a rate faster than gravity's like pulling them together. So within enough time, the observable universe and the observable local area will be minimized even more. So it's not really a paradox. It's just a happenstance. Like it doesn't have to be something that has an answer other than just shit happens like that. That's just how it is, you know? That's just the chance of things. So it ain't really a paradox. It doesn't make any sense for it to be a paradox. Like this is just a thought experiment. This is a thought that Enrico Fermi just had. Okay, it could be something that could be legitimately sought and found to have good reason behind it. But so far, not even the initial phase, not even the paradox itself is really a paradox, and it doesn't really have much weight to it. It doesn't hold much water to it. Never mind the 2 stages down the rabbit hole that we will be going. Never mind that. But yeah, we'll be going down this deep rabbit hole here, which isn't very deep because already first part of it is actually pretty shallow. The next part of it, I already mentioned the Great Filter, how it's like, okay, well, its foundation is already weak because the Fermi paradox isn't really a paradox. Like, we don't know. It doesn't have to be that way. So the idea of it having an explanation as if it is true is already in the realm of weak hypothesis in science fiction, basically. Which is fine, like, you know, it's cool. You get a lot of, like, science horror out of it. Sci-fi horror. Or disturbing notions of it, like cosmic horror out of this too. So, out of the Great Filter, there are a lot of explanations, a lot of types of the Great Filter that people have come up with. It's like, well, why is it the case that these societies don't advance beyond a certain age? What is holding them back? You know? And one of them, which is currently being, like, well, has been made into a 3-part novel series, and then from then has been begun to be adapted into a series, is the 3-Body Problem trilogy, where you have the 3-Body Problem, and then you have the Dark Forest, and then there's the third one, which, I don't know. Like, I was recommended a video explaining a variety of details from the books, and it would do nothing but explain, like, what happens. It's like summaries of what happens. So I don't know how accurate it is or otherwise, but I will tell you the gist of the Dark Forest and the idea, and then I'll tell you why I don't think it's very smart. The whole idea of the Dark Forest is that we're not seeing any signs of additional advanced life, because what if it's like you meet up and then you scare each other, and then you're so scared of each other that you just annihilate each other? Isn't that so scary? So why wouldn't you be hidden? And the analogy is that of a real-life dark forest. You're in a forest at night, alone. Okay? You could run into people, they could be so scary, they could kill you. You could run into animals. Are you gonna try to be, like, super bright and well-seen, or are you gonna try to stay, like, you know, pretty hidden and off to yourself and, like, figure shit out, you know? And that last part I just added in, the figure shit out. Because ideally, you would want to figure shit out eventually. Like, how is it going? Like, where's the rivers, like, for water? Like, where does this go? Is there a good, you know, are there areas where, like, small game frequent, so that you can set up traps during the daytime? Is there this? Is there that? Okay, like, maybe there's signs of people during the daytime that you can see. It's like, then you can have positive experiences and go from there. And so the idea of the Dark Forest stems literally from a negative outlook on a certain time frame, a certain time of day when things are worse, and then looking at the negative outlook only of our own very human, very stupid experiences. And this is what I mean. It's an allegory trying to sound smart. It is an allegory of our own human experiences or animal experiences being placed upon advanced societies that are supposed to be more advanced than our current ones. And, well, considering that we can already solve the whole Dark Forest thing at our very human level of intelligence and understanding, when we get advanced and we apply the same ideas to it, I'm checked out. I'm done. I'm like, this is ridiculous. Again, you cannot convince me that advanced, like hyper advanced, hyper intelligent anything would fall under the same pitfalls that we do. Like, I can understand when you look at, like, very smart animals out there that aren't us, and you look and you're like, oh, sometimes people make the same mistakes that they do. Wow. And it just doesn't follow that then hyper advanced creatures would make the same mistakes that the animals would, or that like very stupid humans would, like very extremely dull, extremely foolish people. It's like, or people in extremely foolish moments. Like, what does not follow that these same scenarios would happen to the advanced, because again, like you look at like the most advanced, or like think of like the most foolish, most ridiculous member of like the advanced society. Okay, would they be the one sent out to interact with the rest of the communicative universe? Alright? Would they? No. No, they fucking wouldn't. They would not. Alright? That's a ridiculous thing to posit. So no, that wouldn't happen. It's ridiculous. So, again, think of like an average person. Now think of an average person of a hyper-advanced society. Now think of an average hyper-advanced astronaut sent as a diplomat. Like, you see where things are getting off balance? You see where things are sort of crumbling apart? You really think there wouldn't be any sense of cooperative nature out there? You don't think that would be even possible for other hyper-intelligent, space-faring life forms? It's a ridiculous notion. It's like, of course it's possible. But then everything falls apart from the Dark Forest onwards. It's like, yeah, no shit. It's like a decent hypothetical at best. And yet it's being adapted, and I'm just like, oh no, dude. I'm sure it's entertaining, but it's on such shaky foundation, I just don't care. I just do not care. I've had enough media shaken by horrible, horrible cracks in their foundation that were set up later, like season 7 and 8 Game of Thrones. And the lesson learned from that is that there were problems all the way back in season 5 of Game of Thrones. That was the lesson learned, okay? And that we didn't notice it, and that was on us. When there are issues fundamentally with something before it even begins, stay away. This is the lesson learned. Stay away from these fundamental issues with whatever medium. Just stay the fuck away. Alright? Because let me tell you something. A story is only interesting if the characters are believable, if the world is believable. Okay? You might have a very believable narrative. Are the characters believable? Is the world believable? If the world isn't believable, then people won't care about the characters. And therefore they won't care about the narrative. If the characters aren't believable, people won't really care about the world. They won't care about the narrative. So you have to have everything working in conjunction with each other. And it's not easy. Writing a fucking tale ain't easy, believe me. I'm no story writing expert or what have you, but it's fucking difficult. I'm sure of it. But it's gotta be good. Everything has to be aligned well. There are more examples of people trying to use hyper advanced, like, alien civilizations making similar pitfalls as humans might, or even like relative pitfalls as humans might, to get into this like really weird lesson that they're trying to teach, like, you know, in the Dark Forest and all this. It's trying to teach about like being smart and like being fucking hesitant, being reasonable, compassionate. You know, that's like the lesson that's coming from that. And it's like, well, are the aliens going to learn that lesson? Are the hyper advanced civilizations going to learn that lesson? Or are you making that about current society and current governments, you know? Well, I just wanted to have a series that like fundamentally made sense. That's all I wanted. And we're trying to get a lesson that a 5-year-old could tell. Great. That's fantastic. That's just fantastic. Don't you just love that? And similar stuff has been tried for from like vegan arguments, which I'm not going to get into it. I don't want to do like serious debate lord shit on this channel or on the internet in general. No thanks. Oh, there's a fellow there. Hang on. Not interested in that. But here's the thing. Every once in a while, not every once in a while, like in the past, I've been recommended, it's like some guys logically going through the vegan stuff, and there'll be like people that are very much like, fuck the vegans, bro! And people who make videos like that always get a YouTube comment from somebody called Ask Yourself. And he says, alright, fucking, let's hop on and I'll debate you on the subject. I want to do that. That's what he's all about. And his biggest thing is the name that trait situation. And it goes like this. Here's what he'll say. Okay, can you name the trait in which sets apart people from the animals and animal products that we consume, that makes it so that it is fine that we consume them, but not people or whatever else that we don't? And people always, first of all, people always take that bait. Don't you ever fucking take the bait, I swear to God. Don't do that. It is a loaded question. That is a loaded thought experiment right there. Okay? It is never just one trait that will set us apart. Like, any moral boundary is going to be complex. It's going to require more than one trait. It's going to require more than one aspect to define. So by starting and going along with this, you are conceding that. You are conceding that these moral boundaries that you'd form are just one trait, and that's it. Just one. Just one trait. And what's weird is that, like, people will get to the second part, and then they'll try to start over with a new trait. And it's like, no. You throw in combinations of traits, and that's how you get through that. Because that's the only way that works. That's the only way that we conceptualize these things. It's never just one trait. That's ridiculous. So, don't do that. Don't go along with that, first of all. That is ludicrous. It is never just one trait. But the next thing, so most of the time somebody will then just say intelligence, okay? That's the obvious most common thing. Second most common would be like, oh, humanity. And that's just ridiculous. Like, humanity is not good enough. Because then that's like a... You know, you could fill in that gap with a bunch of different shit. It's way too nebulous. It's way too murky and confusing. And, you know, if there were other life forms who were like us, and, you know, obviously weren't human, you wouldn't say they had humanity. They had something else. They had another combination of traits. Again, combination. That makes them surpass a certain moral boundary, or what I would call, personally in my philosophy, they pass a certain moral threshold. They pass the threshold. Now here's what happens. Let's continue on as if we were somebody that said intelligence. Alright? Now ask yourself, would say, okay, so you say intelligence. What if there was a hyper-advanced alien society, okay? And they were relative to humans as intelligent as we are relative to the creatures that we eat and consume. Would it then be okay for these creatures to consume us? And usually they don't have an answer, which is weird because it's, again, jumping the shark in terms of relativistic moral frameworks rather than threshold moral frameworks, as in, like, oh, these guys are this smart relative to you, therefore, da, 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 or they're this bunch of these traits relative to you, therefore they get to do anything. And it's like, no, that doesn't follow either. Because, again, and this is the pet peeve that I have with the whole Fermi paradox, with the whole Dark Forest thing, is it is applying a mental moral anguish, a mental moral fault. Sorry, I had to cough. From the vegan's point of view, onto you know, from all of our point of view, all of us continued onto the hyper-intelligent species. If the species is supposed to be hyper-intelligent, why would they, in any of our eyes, do something which we think is morally stupid? Sorry, I had to cough a lot. Why would I do that? Now, really think about that. Again, same situation as Dark Forest. It doesn't follow that these hyper-intelligent, like, next-level beings would have the same mental pitfalls that humans would. It would not follow that. And yet, if you go over any reasonable moral standing and framework, whether that be meeting a certain threshold in terms of sentience, whether it's through a more complex one that sets things further down the board, as in like the non-vegan like meat eaters and such, which I am, whether or not you place the threshold at one spot or another. The reality is all of us in the debate have thresholds in our moral frameworks. And we think if you have no threshold, or if you go beyond the threshold and you could include humans, then that's stupid. Even for advanced aliens, that's stupid. And that if we encountered, if we eventually became hyper-intelligent to that point, we would still think it's stupid. And so why wouldn't it also apply to the more advanced aliens? Right? Why would they fall into such a mental pitfall? I thought they were supposed to be hyper-intelligent. You see what I mean? applying human problems to hyper-intelligent species, even metaphorically or hypothetically, does not work. It does not work to try to teach logical lessons. It does not work to try to form pieces of entertainment. It all falls apart automatically. So, I don't like it. It's not good. Those are two separate statements. It's just goofy. Alright. Next thing I wanted to talk about was the real Monty Hall problem. So, I don't know, you probably haven't heard of the Monty Hall problem. It's a weird math lesson that's being taught as a math problem that's being explained as a real-life logical scenario. And if you think that sounds awfully fucked up, you'd be exactly right. And it does not... It just does not work out well. No, it really does not. So the Monty Hall problem stems from the game show Let's Make a Deal. Back in the day, the host was Monty Hall. And the whole idea was you would have 3 doors, and behind 2 of them were goats, or zonks, or what have you. They were bad options. And behind the third one was like a new car, or a large sum of money. A positive thing. So you had 3 choices, 3 possible options. We'll have that be the denominator in this equation. You have 2 potential bad ones, and then 1 good one. So you have three potential choices, and then you have 3 potential doors, right? So 3 outcomes, 3 options to choose from. 3 over 3, but they are different. Knowing the history of the show, and again, the people in a lot of people, like mathematical YouTubers or science YouTubers or what have you, that go over the Monty Hall problem, they say, and this is the kiss of death to them, which is just a thing of beauty in my eyes. They say, you know the history of the show while you're on the show. And the history of the show is, you will pick something, no matter which number you pick out of the 3. Mr. Monty Hall will then go over to one of the wrong options, reveal it as wrong. This was a goat, this was a zonk. And then he'll ask you, do you want to switch, or do you want to keep your choice? This is the final scenario. You will either be right or wrong. Do you want to pick, or do you want to switch, or do you want to stay? And here's the thing. Switching at this point, mathematically, has a 2/3 chance, or like it's not 2/3, but like it's higher probability to be correct to switch than to stay. And they ran that through the probability computing however many millions of times, and it comes out true that switching has a better probability than staying. Because apparently the probability concentrates in that last option. And that is fucking ridiculous. And people will say constantly, like, there's people that defend this all the time, like, no, look, it's because of this. It's because of this. No, it's not. I'm gonna tell you why it's because of that, okay? Boar is huge! Okay. Let me explain why, alright? It's because the equation from the first part of the scenario has not been changed in the second part. But if this is a real-life logical scenario, which it is, I wouldn't keep the same equation. I wouldn't keep the same numerator and denominator, knowing the history of the show. Why would you keep the same denominator? You wouldn't. If you are trying to teach that you can set up these math equations in certain ways and be able to sort this thing or that thing from math using stuff in the real world, you have to include that you can alter the numerator and denominator. You can alter your equation as it makes logical sense to. And yet they don't. Because this isn't a logical thing. This isn't a math lesson. This is a math problem. This is a test-like math problem that they have dressed up like a logical, funny thing. Here, I'm going to teach you about this. No. They are showcasing a math problem. A two-step math problem that has been put through, correctly been put through, a probability scanner or what have you on a computer. It's been put through and it comes out to a correct point. The correctness being that in that problem where you have step 1 and you, because it's written out in paper, you can't change what happened in step 1. You can't change that there used to be a denominator of 3. You can't change that you technically had 3 options in a math problem. Then that carries over and thus the probability concentrates. However, when we are working real life situations into math problems ourselves, as if we were the test creator, or just solving things on our own, guess what? We're able to write out whatever the fuck equation we want that fits the situation accordingly. And that fits it changing bit by bit. You know, if certain variables are added on after the fact, okay? If certain variables are added on after the fact in like an engineering situation, do you think they go, well, we did part 1, in this way, we can't change it now, even though you bought more of this, you can't change it now, we already did part 1 of the, it's already written out like this. No, they adjust their equations to fit the new variables, like you would in real life. Holy shit, of course. And so if we know that one of the options is always going to be revealed and always going to not be a real thing, we can adjust the equation to meet the new variables. You have 2 doors. 1 out of 2 chains. That's it. Direct 50-50. Done and done. We have adjusted the equation to fit the new variables. And you can't do that if it was a real math problem on a test, or put into in a calculator that way, or whatever advanced computers. You can't do that. But you can run a new set of parameters through as the situation calls for it. And so, I get worked up like this because people are constantly doing weird shit online to try to justify this frankly disgusting pop science clickbait, I'm gonna get you for views that like really respectable creators like Veritas and Vsauce have done. Like, they've made videos, both of them have made videos on that, and then more, like a whole bunch. And they're not realizing that the more important lesson than showcasing a neat quirk about probability through a math problem dressed up like a logical scenario is showing people that that you can adjust equations in math as you meet new parameters, okay? It is much easier to just let people be intuitive because the lesson gained is much more important. The lesson learned is much more important, that you can change equations when trying to figure shit out mathematically when new parameters appear. That is way more important. Way more important than the weird probability nature of Monty Hall should we not change things according to new parameters. That is way more important. So yeah, I just don't. I don't understand it. It you know, really grinds my gears. Family Guy, Peter Griffin style. You know what really grinds my gears? Monty Hall Problem and Fermi Paradox. Yeah, that's what grinds my gears. I will be doing more on another subject later. Oh, I think I have enough time. Because I have to tame this boar too. I should have enough time for the next thing. Whatever it is. As soon as it hits night, I'll sleep and then I'll go grab some rested and then talk about the next subject. This one is going to be a lot more related to games, constructive criticism, and all of that. So it'll be very good for Valheim, because there's some lines that attach to this whole experience, especially in development, and it'll be very good. It'll be very, very good. But yeah, these sneak levels, yo. These sneak levels. Sneak 28. That's what I'm fucking talking about. I love that. I love that so much. I mean, in the future, when we look at Mistlands, Ashlands, these sneak levels are going to be absurd. It's going to be so nice. Especially when Ashlands first drops and we don't know what the hell's going on. Sneaking is going to be so good. And it might remain good just because of how good the sneak synergy with Arbalest is. You know, sneaking doesn't... sneaking is like one of the few things that doesn't restart the Arbalest loading. So that's huge. That is huge. Alright, let's go get some sleep in here. It's going to be a long episode. Strap in. That's totally fine. See, another raspberry. 17 minutes rested. This should be a good deal of the taming process now. Yeah, I just don't want any grailings, aggroing anything or anything. Making the boars mad again. There we go. Let's check and see if Mr. Fella is taming. I can't tell. No, he's kind of senses something. Oh, I thought I saw hearts. There's 2-star. Oh, what's going on with you, good lad? What are you angry about? There we go. Taming. It begins. Alright, sweet. Fella is taming. Let's go. Let's get a check. Yep, he's taming. Okay. So recently there's been a lot of sponsored reviews of all of the Final Fantasy pixel remasters that were put out by Square. Not too long ago. Maybe a few years ago. And what's interesting is they put out these pixel remaster reviews, and then 16 came out, which was nothing like the pixel remasters. And then people that were really big 16 defenders said that there was no market for turn-based games, even though not only did they put out all of these turn-based ports, but they paid for sponsors on them too. So clearly there was a market for them. Also, Baldur's Gate 3 Game of the Year turn-based. Anyway, this isn't about 16. This is about the turn-based reviewers, because they decided to make a whole bunch of other videos about some of those pixel remasters. And fundamentally, they just started unsolving them. So some of these games, Final Fantasy V, Final Fantasy VI, have been mechanically solved for over a decade now. Comfortably. Almost 2 decades. And almost, no, over 2 decades. What am I saying? Like, yeah, basically 2 decades, yeah. A little bit, at least 25 years. Okay. People have known the best strategies in those games because, well, a lot of the stuff is very overpowered. And it's fairly easy to come to that conclusion. The analysis is pretty simple. What's best is really easy. And it's just so strong. When you look at that, you look at people in this modern age getting it wrong. It's like, how could you get it wrong? How could you do it? So, they're sponsoring people that are just absolute buffoons who have no respect for the prior community about the game or games. And I was just like, oh my god, that's depressing and also terrible. It's like, oh, this is who they wanted to prop up. Like, no wonder there's going to be some more action-oriented gamers that look at that community and think, well, that's just a thing of the past. They're not even learning from the past. And they're still cranking out shit-ass bits. Whoa! Whew! You know, no wonder the reputation is the way it is. And then Baldur's Gate 3 gets Game of the Year. And it's like, well, we just might get a classic turn-based ATB Final Fantasy after all, which, might just be the Final Fantasy IX remake, which I would be all about. And I do have to make a video about 9 remake. What problems would I fix? What things would I change? Not turn-based ATB. Not changing that. But something interesting in a lot of these reviews is constructive criticism. Constructive criticism for these old-ass games where the developer has made, like, future editions, and some of them they've learned from and made great strides upon, and other times in more modern implements, or modern installments, I should say. They've gone a little backwards in some regards. I wonder, like, why make constructive criticism about, like, Final Fantasy III Pixel Remastered when the 3D port is just even better and it's been out since 2006. Like, they've had time to learn, and they made Final Fantasy IV, which fixed a lot of the issues from that. So they've already had a constructive learning experience, probably from the criticism, constructive or not, in the past. And they've done so over decades, continuously. And so I look at this and it's like, what are these reviews trying to do? Other than just get a check from Square. What are they trying to do? It just seems ridiculous. Like, why are we trying to critique these old things? That's why I don't put out, like, a review for Final Fantasy III. Like, even though I've uploaded my my specific playthrough and keep making videos about it and such, and how I'll continue to make videos about Final Fantasy IV, and like, I won't talk about any of that stuff unless it's about certain things that have not been implemented yet in the series. Unless it's about hyper-specific things. In which case I can make just one whole regular video about a variety of the Final Fantasies. And just cut and paste together, like, a variety of systems and be like, okay, well, if I had a game with this like this game, and that like this installment, and this like this, then it would be like my favorite thing. But a lot of them were refined upon and improved upon, from Final Fantasy III to Final Fantasy IV. And then from this turn-based ATB system all the way until Final Fantasy IX has been, Final Fantasy IX has been the real improvement time and time and time again. And I just think of that and I'm just like, well, why are we talking about these old school ones like that then? It's just so mind-boggling to me. So weird. So weird. But I figure a lot of people will say probably some similar shit in regards to Valheim in the future. Like, people will talk about and criticize, like, probably in the future they'll do a whole bunch of chatting about, like, Black Forest and how they think it should be, like, a certain way. It's like, oh, I think the Black Forest. It's like, bro, they're, dude, they're more than aware of all this Black Forest talk, or like all of this stuff. Like they know, they're aware. There's very specific, very niche things that they're aware of, and there are also very specific, very niche things which they have not addressed. And now, do you think somebody's like 60-hour review of Valheim is gonna cover those super niche, super important things that might not be there? No, fuck no. There's no shot. There's no fucking way. No chance. No chance. So I'm like, what the fuck? Like, what is happening? Like, what are we talking about? What is the point of some of these videos? It doesn't make any sense, man. But, I mean, they'll keep on trying to splatter mud on the wall. They ain't no Jackson Pollock, that's for sure. But no, I have a update tier list video coming up soon, and I'll get into a lot of the small nitty-gritties about certain biomes and things that I think are worthy of praise and worth continuing. But really, a lot of the times, a lot of the good biome aspects are continued. They are continued. It's just, like, what are any new problems? Like, what are classic problems that they've heard a million times but, like, need to be fixed? Like, do you think it's a good idea to keep talking about the vertical hitbox situation? Or do you think they know about that, considering they've addressed it one time and said they are going to fix it eventually, and that we don't have to say it again? And we don't have to say it again. We don't have to put any more effort into it. I'll say it in passing, but I'll only say it in passing because they've addressed it. They haven't fixed it yet, but they've addressed it, and they said they will fix it. Do you think it's more wise to talk about the chest issues in terms of value in the Meadows sunken chests, in the Infested Mine loot table, and the Frost Cave chest loot table as well? We should talk about the overall value that these treasure chests have, which is very minimal, and that they keep doing it, and that they don't learn from that. We should talk about shit like that we know has gotten criticism in the past, that they've tried to work on it, that it didn't work, and to give them the constructive efforts while it's still in that sort of development, or it's just an incredibly easy fix. Yeah, I think we should do the latter. Obviously, we should talk about shit that they probably haven't learned from, that they might continue to do, maybe in the Ashlands. It's like, you know, that'd be pretty good. That'd be pretty good to talk about. Please be tamed, Boar, please. I don't have anything else to talk about. I really don't. Piggy? Sir? He's taming. Come on. Tame. Yo, what sneak level am I at? 33. Yo, that is nice. That is nice. Oh, I've got some Discord pings. Hang on. What do we got here? What do we got on Discord? What do we got? What do we got? Uh-oh. 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 We got somebody on YouTube, not in my community, thankfully, trying to do the whole, the best thing is the thing that you like. Which is, it just sounds like a kid coming up to, like, the adults' table at Thanksgiving and just interjecting with some random bullshit. It's like, people are trying to do relatively objective analysis to help themselves and others. Go sit back down, little Timmy. I know you like the blue shiny thing. I like the blue shiny thing too. I do. But now's not the conversation for that. We're operating under different frameworks of analysis here. Okay? But yeah. There was Only Waifu's lifesteal build, which is honestly some Reddit tier shit. Because Only Waifu is not a PvEer whatsoever. It's like, that is an awful build that's only going to seem good because we don't know what we're doing in the DLC. And we're going to get hit a lot and die a lot. But like, that's totally fine. Like, there are going to be builds that just actively kill the enemies better, instead of just only being good if you get smacked around a lot. And it's just, ugh. Come on, man. It's like, have some proactive analysis. Please. Yeah, people have done no-hit runs. Not no-hit bosses. Not no-hit sections, like levels. Not no-hit certain amount of hours in the game. No-hit whole runs through the game. But you can still get hit and take damage. You have a fucking healing flask in that game. You have an amazing healing item, and you have good armor. You can get certain poise breakthroughs. You can tank hits on purpose to be dominant, because there's a stance break system. There's all these systems in play. To be proactive. To be dominating. Those are obviously going to be better setups. There's a great number of them. It's like, oh god. PvP guy tries to make PvE build, fails horribly. What else is new, right? What else is fucking new? What else is new? It's a shame that most of the Elden Ring PvE crowd aren't good, or don't have a good enough framework of analysis to actually break apart that build. Very few of them. Titus Actual, Quap, they know. Those two content creators, those two YouTubers, they would be fully aware of that build's problems. It's honestly just like neuron activation, you know? In a bad way. You can get neuron activation and still have it be a good thing if your underlying fundamental mechanics are lined up right. You can still have a lot of things that are just big damage on board, or flashy moves, or both. With the restrictions that I play with for fun on my Elden Ring runs, there is still objective analysis to those restrictions, to that framework. And what I play with still has all of the flashiness in the world, still has big numbers on deck. I run with the Ruins Greatsword. And that's like one of the best weapons that you could have, with the restrictions that I do have. And even though it's so mechanically good under my framework, it still has neuron activation in terms of big numbers at once, and flashy moves. You know, bright purple light, flashy colors, Ding-a-ling-a-ling, that's the keychain that's dangling in front of me like a baby to get my attention. But it's also the keys to my car, where I can go get shit done. Proper. Real. You know what I mean? I can get shit done and be thoroughly entertained mindlessly. I can be as mindful or mindless as I want, and I can combine them both into a zen-like Elden Ring experience and have the most fun that I've ever had with Elden Ring. I've got over 1,000 hours in this game, and it was only last summer that I started up playing with this weapon, the Ruin's Greatsword. It was only last summer when I started creating this build that I eventually optimized, well, at least until the pre-DLC, for most effectiveness that I actually enjoy the most. It is my favorite build, and it is also the most effective by my frameworks, by my restrictions. Come on, Boar, get tamed. But you don't have to settle. You don't have to settle for one or the other, for neuron activation or effectiveness. You know, you can get things done upright. And now the framework that I have isn't arbitrary. You know, it's subjective, sure, but it's not arbitrary. It's like saying, oh, the way you play Valheim now is arbitrary, even though I'm not using, like, rotation cheese or hordes of tamed mobs. No, most people want to play like this, and it seems to be intended by the devs. And it's the same exact shit with the way that I play Elden Ring. So sure, I'm subjectively picking this framework in which I play, but it's totally not arbitrary. It ain't arbitrary. And in fact, the most important metric of the frameworks that I play in is that they are helpful. They have community draw and interest towards them, and I can help people. That makes them relevant and more interesting than, well, my framework is I like the color blue and I want to play with and optimize for all of the things that are blue because I like blue. It's like, well, shit. I like pink and green, but I got myself using a purple as a weapon. I love twin blades, and I'm only using a twin blade in passing. I'm using a colossal sword. Now, I still like the concepts behind and the aesthetics of the Ruin's Greatsword, but not as much as, say, the Godskin Peeler. Not as much as the DLC twin blade that was teased. No, not nearly as much, but I still like it a lot. And it's good. And I can set up a build and recommend it and have it be helpful to those who almost certainly, very commonly, share my same perspective of play. Man, this is a long-ass episode. I hope you guys are enjoying it, though. I'm trying to drop some cool thoughts that have been burbling and bubbling up in my noggin. The old cauldron that is my mind. Stirring up these things, whether I'm at work or, I don't know, just trying to listen to music on a rainy day. Boar? Okay, well, let's go get to sleep. I might as well put all this stuff away. Might as well. Let's see. Wood. We got deer hide. A lot of deer hide. Nice. And we got some meats. We got a shit ton of meat. That's fine. Love having that. You know, I think that's a big thing present in D&D communities too. It's like you can be mechanically effective and still have all the roleplay, all the style. It's going to take a lot of extra work in making a character and making good decisions. But it's very possible, and I try to do this all the time. And honestly, considering, well, you can't have a character narrative continue if that character is dead, most likely, or permadead, or what have you. You know, it might be good to, you know, in some mid-level tables to optimize a little bit. Not too much, but, you know, make it so that you're not making absolutely foolish decisions all the time, whether it be already done in the preparatory sense or the execution phase when you're actually in combat deciding what to do. Just be a good idea. You know, especially considering other people are getting invested in their characters and that it's a team game and your actions might be responsible for other characters' deaths. Oh, that would be a terrible, terrible scenario. I would feel immense guilt if somebody else's character died because of my absurd decisions. Whether it be character creating or otherwise, I would not be happy with that. Not be happy. That would be devastating. Can you be tamed, please? Please? Pretty please? That would be so lovely. Next episode is going to be making all the walls, putting up gates, getting it all set up, getting these piggies started on breeding. Oh, that bird is mocking me. I don't want to get up from my taming. Can you get tamed, please? Oh, he's moving around. Stop moving around. Just get tamed. Please and thank you. Oh, he's getting tamed over there too. Why are you moving like that, sir? Come on, I want to see a nice green bar pop up. Come on. Check the progress on this damn drain from sneaking too. I can just keep going now. Love that. Oh, sneak 36? Yo. That's nice. Please get tamed. I would love that. That would be so nice. I remember when I was still afraid of fulling berserkers. Me and my friend would go out in the fog to a fulling camp. We'd go behind the tall plains brush, and we'd snipe them at the same time. We'd count down 3, 2, 1. And we'd snipe them with our Draugr fangs. And then we'd hide behind the bushes as he'd wander way out to us. We'd pick him off one by one, very slowly like that. Of course, we were carrying Atgears, we just didn't know the extent. We didn't know that it was a 6 times modifier. We didn't know that we could stagger lock. We didn't know how easy it was with Poke City after you spin the win. We had no idea until Hearth and Home. Well, we knew it at the end of the first vanilla stage. We knew. But it didn't come to fruition until after, after we got back to it in our Hearth and Home. That's when we started all dominating. Everybody had Nat gear. Everybody. And I think everybody will have bow and Nat gears in the upcoming Ashlands run too. At the very least. Not everybody will have magic, but everybody will have bow and ant gear. Come on, Piggleton. Can you please be tame? Please. We're getting up to 2 hours. Yeah. That is right. That is right. Okay. I don't know why I'm jumping, but let's rename you Piggleton. And this is just going to be Boar. Piggleton is more important. Woohoo! Alright. Boar has been tamed. Yeah! Success. Alright. That's that. Thank you for watching. Next episode is the construction of all of the walls. Hopefully breed some boars. I'll be able to cook up some food. And keep going with some good old Bronze Age Baron. Eventually, you know, we'll kill Ector eventually. One of these days, get into that Bronze Age. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you guys some other time. Bye.